This is a special episode of Mouthful of Fur. This is actually my first time doing a one-on-one with one of my homegirls, Nicole Bell, and I wanted to just sit down and basically talk to her, just girlfriends one-on-one talking, because as many of you know, Nicole suffered through a big loss in her life. What was it, 09? What was it, 09?
06.
06.
This year will be 10 years.
Oh my God, 10 years ago, her husband was gunned down on their wedding day. And I just wanted Nicole to come because I want to talk to her about, you know, what happened, and I want to talk about what's going on now. And I asked a lot of you guys at home, what did you want me to ask Nicole? So I'm going to ask some of your questions. And are you excited about this?
I'm happy to be here. I want to hear what everybody has to say.
All right, Nicole, we're here almost 10 years later. And I don't want to be, you know, asking you too many questions about that, because I know that's a hard thing to replay. But I want to know, like, it's the day before your wedding. You're getting ready, your mom, you know I love your mom.
That's right.
You're getting ready, you're doing your thing. Because this happened at like around what, 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning?
4 o'clock in the morning.
So 4 o'clock in the morning, you spoke to him right before he left probably, gave him a kiss. Right. You're gonna go to your bachelor party, be good. Don't be getting them strippers on you like that. So tell me what was going on the day before the wedding. What was going on the day before he went out? What tell me your day.
You know, it was, I remember, it was a foggy day out, November. We put that wedding together so fast. I mean, it was, you know, we had 2 daughters at the time. Right. So Jada and Jordan, she was just born, only 5 months.
Wow.
And then Sean and I had a conversation, and he said, you know what, I think we should get married.
He said it. I think we should get married.
Yes. And not only did he say it, he had already spoken to his mom, my sisters, and got everybody's support. They had the church just waiting for me to say yes.
Oh wow, they knew you was gonna say yes. After 2 kids, your ass was gonna say yes. Okay.
You know, right? And it's young love. You know, it's young love. So
how old were you then?
I was, girl, 22.
Oh God, younger. Oh my God, we the same age.
22, yeah.
Okay, so you get ready. What happened the night before?
The night before, I had my bridal shower at my mom's house. She lives out in Long Island.
Nice.
So my sisters, some of my friends, we all got together. You know, had some drinks, had some laughs, some fun, just getting ready to celebrate a new step. You know.
Right. What did Sean say to you when he heard that you and your girls was going to your mother's house? You know your mother. Yes, honey. What did Sean say to you? What did Sean say to you before you left?
Let's see. Wow, you know, that was so long ago, and it's like, you know, digging into all those memories.
I like to ask those deep questions.
Yeah, that day, I remember when he dropped me off. He dropped me to my mom's house out in Long Island, you know, and he was like, you know, we don't really have that much planned today. We're gonna go out, me and some of the guys. They didn't have a bachelor party planned. They were just gonna get together. We're gonna do something. So, you know, girls, my friends coming from Virginia, my other friends, you know, everybody.
You and Sean Molly in there, honey.
So we stayed at mom's house. We did our thing. But when he dropped me off, it was kind of like, you know how you think you get. Sometimes we get like premonitions, or you get a little thought in the back of your head. Right. It's like, you know, we gave a little kiss, you know, see you later. But it just, something was like,
So I hear that a lot. A lot of times people say when they were murdered, they say, I felt something. Like it was just something wasn't connected. So you're saying that something just wasn't right. Even though everything was perfect.
Everything was perfect.
Something wasn't right.
Everything was perfect. We had family coming in from out of town. It was something that we put together in like a matter of 2 weeks or maybe a month.
Wow.
It was somewhere around it. We put it together really fast. And I just remember when he walked out that day, it was just a little peck. We gave a peck, and I thought for a second, it's like, you know, you just get that thought. What is that thought? I don't know.
You didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
But it was a thought.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay, so 4 o'clock in the morning. Let's fast forward to 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right. So my party had already wrapped up. I stayed at my mom's house. I was going to stay there overnight. You know, we meet up at the church and.
Right.
So that night I laid down. My mom still has a room for me, but I didn't even lay in my room. I laid on her couch. Everybody, she went to her room. My sister went home. Sometime at about the middle of the night, early in the morning, my mother woke me up, and she said, Nicole, get up. You know, something happened to Sean. Kaheem just called, which is my brother-in-law. He was with one of the guys at the bachelor party. He just called, and something happened. We gotta get up, and we gotta go to Queens. We gotta go to the hospital. So I'm like, the hospital? You know, I know
you just can't believe this. Like, what the hell happened?
fast forward, I got up, I grabbed my phone, and I saw that I had missed a call from him at like 1 or something. About 1 a.m. I missed a call. So I instantly grabbed my phone and just called him back.
Right.
You know, just
what's up?
No answer. You know, I called again, no answer. So
and your heart right now is beating.
Yeah, my heart's
strong, hard.
We get to the hospital. We didn't know what hospital. I mean, it was my brother-in-law was frantic.
Right.
You know, we didn't get anything out, but
Queens sound like Jamaica hospital.
Yeah. So that's exactly what we did. My mother called the hospital and said, "Do you have a Sean Bell at this hospital?" And they said, "Gather your family and come."
Once they say gather your family and come, because I felt chills just now.
But you know, you can't tell me that. It's my wedding day. You know, never in a million years. I mean, the most we thought would have happened was a car accident.
Right.
You know, like what?
So you didn't know anything that happened to you. So you called the hospital. They said, bring your family down. So what happened next?
We get to the hospital. You know, they said, all right, wait 1 second. Police officers came out. They started, you know, asking for ID. Who are you? Who are you? At this point, we still didn't know anything.
Right.
I didn't even know police were involved.
Wow.
I didn't know. So my brother-in-law comes from out of, I don't know, one of those hallways in the hospital.
Right.
And he just got this look, you know, across his face. I mean, complete, like,
stoic, just blank.
And it was a look that I didn't even understand. And I saw my sister, I could see through the glass, my sister was talking to him. And, you know, I could just tell by her body language that something was bad. Something was bad. So they called me out there, and he goes, my sister said, tell her what happened. Tell her what happened. And at that moment, he told me that they were leaving the bachelor party. They had into an argument with some guy that was outside the club. When it was closing, they went to get in the car to pull off, and Sean got shot. And I'm like, Sean got shot? You know, I didn't hear nothing. I just instantly keeled over. What do you think he got shot?
Right.
So they didn't.
All y'all Negroes with him, he got shot. I know you're just thinking all type of stuff.
I didn't even think that far. It was just like, is it bad? You know, is it bad? Is he okay?
Right.
You know, because never in a million years would he be gone. No, we just talked. You know, we just talked a few minutes ago.
And
I got my dress in the closet.
Right.
So we got impatient. The hospital wouldn't tell us anything. We're still in the waiting area. Not even a doctor. No one that came out. So my brother-in-law said, "Listen, they took him around the back. I'll take you where they took him." You know, we got in the car like crazy people. Drove around the back of the hospital. Went in the ER. And you know, when I think about it now, I think about how frantic I was, just trying to get answers and trying to see what happened, what his condition was. And I remember a doctor greeted me as soon as I got through the doors. I didn't know which way to go. I was looking, at this point I'm in the ER looking
frantic. Where's my man?
Like, I'm gonna go to every bed until I find him.
Yeah.
So the doctor stopped me and she goes, you know, who are you looking for? You know, I explained to her what was going on. And as I started doing that, a cop walked over and he pulled her away, and she comes back and she goes, you know, I can't talk to you right now. I was told not to talk. And I'm like, what you mean you was told not? What's going on?
Right.
And I said, miss, imagine if this was your husband.
Right.
Please tell me.
On my wedding day.
Yeah, doctor, please tell me what's going on.
And they wouldn't tell you anything.
No. So she goes, all right, I'm gonna have somebody take you to a room, and we'll come in there and we'll explain what's going on.
Okay.
So that's what we did. We went to the room.
So when they told you that the police, well, he got shot 50 times. How many times did Sean get shot?
We never got the full story until the day really had progressed, So at this point it's, you know, maybe 5 a.m. or still, I really lost track of time, so I couldn't even tell you that. But you know, the doctor came in, she told me what happened, and you know, I instantly just...
She told you he died, or she just told you he got shot?
She said he passed away. She said he got, you know, he was shot.
I know you could not believe that.
I said, no, he didn't.
You thought it was a dream, a nightmare?
No, I told her that, no, he didn't.
Oh, you told her? No, that didn't happen.
It wasn't real.
It wasn't real?
It just did not feel real.
And who was in the room with you?
My mother and my sister. Me, my mother, and my sister. And
your mother looked like she probably passed out faster than you did.
I did. And you know, and once, you know, a few times you sit there and she's talking, and you know, it really sets in.
You don't hear nothing, right?
You know, at that point it was just, you know, I begged her, just please take me to him. Take me to him. Like, this can't be real.
And you saw him?
Take me to him. Yeah. After a few hours.
Was that the hardest thing in the world to see him? Like your husband lying there?
I was numb at that point. Wow. I was really numb at that point.
And you was young. 22 is a young girl going through this.
And so after some time, his mom met us at the hospital, and
the mother is. So it was Sean and his mom close.
Yeah.
So he was like one of those mama boys and stuff like that.
He was a mama's boy. Yeah.
And if she have other children of the brother, she has more children.
She has. Sean had 2 siblings, so he had a younger sister and an older brother. He's the middle.
Okay, so when you say when she showed up, it really.
Yeah, we were devastated, and she got there shortly after me. Shortly after the doctor had just told me what happened. So she came into the room, and I really blacked out. Like I was in the corner, balled up, crying. My sister was talking to the doctor. I could kind of hear and see my sister talking to the doctor.
But it's like everything went blank. So now, fast forward, you have you have 2 daughters. One is too young to really know what's going on. So how old was my girl Jada at that time?
Jada was 3.5. She was getting ready 2 weeks from her 4th birthday.
Wow. So she's still young, but still old enough to know who daddy is.
Oh yeah.
Who mommy is. I know I had 2 nephews that's 4 years old. Extremely smart. And girls are more smart than boys.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jada.
So and Jada's very smart. How did you tell your daughter that daddy's not coming home and we're not having a wedding, and how did you tell her?
Because she was so young, right away, all of the family, everybody gathered together. They came to the house, his mom, his aunts, everybody. I mean, the house was so packed, you just don't know who's there.
Because everybody's in from out of town waiting for your wedding. See, everybody at home that don't know. Nicole and Sean was getting married the day that he was murdered. So all their family is in town. Everybody's at your mom's house, his mom's house. Everybody's waiting for a wedding. Instead, they find out that Sean is murdered.
And instantly it went over the news. Instantly.
It was, I remember when I heard about it. Let me tell you how I heard about it. It was so bad, like my dad woke us up and told us about, like, the cops is wild and they shot somebody 50 times. It was just a tragic, horrible thing. And I think that this is your real life. You see, when people read the news or they, read the newspaper or watch TV, it hurts, but it ain't your family, so you don't really feel that hurt. And I'm sure you heard tragic things in your life before, but when it hit home, that's where it really hurts the most, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's still times when I think back and it still hurts. There's moments and it still hurts. And to see other families, just suffering the way we did after all that fight, all those.
So yes, that's what I want to get into too, because what I liked about you before me and you got cool, what I always liked about you is that you was young, but you was really like at those meetings for justice. You were on the news fighting for justice. Girl, you used to have the short haircut. I remember, girl, we're gonna put a clip about the haircut, okay? You used to have the haircut, you was ready, you was young, and you was just like, I don't care, I'm me, that's my husband. See, a lot of people feel like, oh yeah, I didn't actually have a wedding, but what they don't understand, when you hoes get married, you understand, before you get married, you have to sign, a wedding certificate. And that is, sad to say, a wedding certificate is what? A contract, really. That's what it is. That's you married. After that wedding certificate.
But for us, we had our marriage permit, and we had planned to sign the certificate after the ceremony. So we had our marriage permit, and it just wasn't signed.
Right, but still, the marriage permit, you have to go get it from the county. Absolutely. So that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Like, the wedding certificate, you get it after you get married, but the permit is from the state. You have to show your ID, they need your social.
And I still have that.
You still have it?
I have it in like a keepsake box.
So let's fast forward to now, okay? There's so many things that's going on. We have, like, one of the fans wanted me to ask you about the Black, Lives Matter movement, okay? Because you have went through strife, and now you see all these people. I mean, a lot of people done got hit since Sean. It's terrible right now. And the dynamics between the police and the civilians is so crazy. So what is your thought process now on, like, what's going on with the police? And then what is your thought process on Black Lives Matter?
It's so crazy because in 2006, social media, camera phones, and all of that. We weren't that advanced yet. Information wasn't able to be passed as fast as it is now.
We had those Nextels and that sidekick with
the razor flip phone. I had what I So, right now, when something happens, we got our camera phones out, we showing it, and we don't have to explain anymore because these videos are showing you. We saw Eric Garner get killed. We saw him on that curb, right? Yeah. We saw the police officers kick in Ramarley Graham's front door. 18-year-old boy that lives in the Bronx got shot in front of his 6-year-old brother and his grandmother.
And how is that going to affect him when he grew up? You know what I'm saying?
But these are things that we actually saw with Sean. It was us against them. We had to explain the victims, the guys who were in that car. Joe, who was shot 17 times. Trent was shot 4 times.
And they lived.
They lived.
Shot 17 times. And he's still alive. Can he walk?
Yeah, I believe he has like a paralyzed foot.
Wow.
That he has
God
permanent.
wanted him to live.
He had to tell a story.
Yeah.
Because they would have said anything.
Yeah. They would have died. Right.
There were no cameras. There were nothing. They would have said, oh, he had a gun. There would have been a gun in the car. There would have been all kinds of stuff. Right?
I thought they was gonna do that too.
Well,
they
there was the story of the 4th man. There was a myth, that there was a 4th man in the car. He must have ran away with the gun.
Oh my.
Later on, after their investigation, they said, oh no, that's not the truth.
Right. So it was just y'all fighting that mighty fight because you didn't have that proof of what happened, like Eric Garner.
And a lot of people, still to this day say, oh, Sean Bell tried to run over a cop, and that's why he got shot.
They're crazy.
No, he didn't.
Find an excuse just to say why the cop shot.
Yeah, I mean, and I heard this from the people who were there, firsthand.
Right.
The victims and the witnesses, the people who had to hide under their beds because the cops were shooting up the neighborhood.
Oh my goodness.
And there was an argument. Sean and his friends had an argument leaving the club.
Right. Which happens when people go to the clubs.
People can't act. Guys get look in the system. Some of them don't know how to act.
Yeah.
So there was a guy.
Especially now Henny getting a system, girl.
You never lie.
Mm-hmm.
And as he pulled off, one of the undercover cops that was in the club, he was part of the Vice Squad, blending in with the club, dressed just like everybody else in the streetwear. He pulled his gun out on them as they were getting in the car.
And that's the thing I don't like about the undercover cops, okay? Because that has happened to me where an unmarked car will back up on me. When we in the hood, okay, for real, seriously, they just had an argument, somebody. Somebody pulled a gun out. Who knows that's a cop?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's exactly.
And who's to say that cop wasn't in that bar drinking it up? Because you gotta fit in.
But he was, and it was the bartenders testified that they had served him alcohol. It's their job to blend in. Oh. So if you have to sit at the bar because you're investigating the club, you gotta blend in to look like a patron. You gotta have drinks. You gotta blend in with the crowd.
So he was drinking like everybody else, just getting drunk.
I'll tell you one thing. After Sean's case, we had changes done in the police department.
Okay, what was some of the changes?
There's a breathalyzer that's given to any officer that shoots a civilian.
Because of you guys?
To this day, because of Sean. Mm-hmm. The detective cars have to have strobe lights on them. The car that Sean had collided with, there were detectives in it. They were driving my car. It was a family van.
Wow.
I mean, at this point, after they're in the middle of trying to run for their lives, thinking that there's somebody trying to rob them.
Right.
They're not processing that. This is police officers.
Right.
With the lights,
Right. Where is everything? So y'all got that done because of this case.
There was.
How long was the fight when it come down to getting these cops convicted, or anybody get convicted? I don't remember that.
Well, okay. So it's a long process. I tell you, it's not like somebody, Joe Schmo gets killed and Tom Jones did it. No, it's a long process. And then for families that are in mourning, it's hard to understand that. It's like, wait a minute, he was murdered, somebody needs to go to jail. What do you mean we gotta wait? So for us, it took 2 years for the DA to bring this to court, bring this to trial.
Right.
3 officers out of the 5 were indicted, right? Indicted meaning they
had
brought up on charges, right?
Right.
They brought them up on charges. They were all found not guilty, all 3 of them. There were 8 charges, ranging from manslaughter to reckless endangerment. Manslaughter being the highest charge.
Right. Only manslaughter, not even murder.
Not even murder.
And they didn't even get convicted.
No conviction.
So now Jada is how old now?
Jada is now, she'll be 14 this year.
So 14.
And you have to
old enough to know now what happened to her.
Old enough to know.
How does she think about cops? Like, what is her thought process as a 14-year-old girl whose father was murdered by the police? What is her thought process as far as cops is concerned?
I want to just take it back a little bit. After the trial, there was a civil rights charge. Like, there are many steps that you have to take, right?
Wow.
So after the trial, where you go to your city court and try to bring them up on criminal rights charges, we went to the federal court, which is the Supreme Court, because the city didn't do anything for us. So we went to the federal court. The federal court took another year after that to investigate, and then they found that they didn't have enough evidence to bring these cops up on civil rights charges. So now that would have been for civil rights charges. After that, there was the civil suit.
Okay.
We sued the city. My family, Joe and Trent, sued the police department. At some point, they don't allow us to get the justice we need. The only justice they allow you to get is suing the city. So for me, that goes to my babies, to ensure that one day they'll have a financial future because their father has been robbed,
of his life. Right.
So one day when they're old enough, they'll be able to hopefully, have a little cushion.
Yeah.
But you still don't have to work hard.
Right.
This is America.
Yeah, so, and that money could go fast.
Yeah, and it will, but I'm raising my girls to do the right thing. Go to college, and
Do
start
right
a business,
Right, yes. Oh, yeah. They like you. Yeah.
And after that, that wasn't even the last step. Then we had to go to departmental hearings, which is the NYPD going against the officers.
Oh.
So that's the final step where they determine, we're going to go to court, we're going to determine whether or not you'll be fired or not.
Okay, don't tell me nobody ain't get fired now.
So the officer that was initiated the entire shooting, the one that was in the club drinking, the detective, he was fired. He was terminated. The other two were allowed to retire. Actually, I'm sorry, the other two amongst others. Everyone that was involved in that case, even if you weren't indicted, the 5 people involved, they were forced to retire, but they were retired with full pension.
Oh, yeah. A paid vacation. Golfing in Long Island somewhere. Yeah.
I mean, while we're struggling, everyone thought that we had a settlement and then we're rich. No, every day I work.
Right.
I have a job. I have children.
So that's another thing. A lot of people thought that you got that money.
And for me, it's so uncomfortable even talking about it because I feel like Sean lost his life.
No money's gonna.
There's nothing that could fill that void. So while others are allowed to, that's their money. For me and Sean weren't married, so it goes to my daughters legally. So the courts legally lock the money until they're a certain age.
See, that's something that you guys probably did not know. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So you legally changed your name though, right?
I did. Right after Sean was killed, I figured this is the name my daughters have. They don't have this name. This is their name. This is the name that I was gonna have. I changed my name.
Right. And what did his mom think about that when you changed?
I went to them first.
That's respectful because I wouldn't have went to nobody.
No, but I did. I went to his mom, and it was a real tough time for all of us. I mean, even internally, we were fighting each other. Families, this is what happens behind the scenes.
That's why we weren't
even getting along.
Really, I wasn't getting along.
But you know what? It was important that the unity be shown to everybody else because whatever we go through personally, it's not everybody's business.
Exactly. Black families, we will fight each other, but you try to fight one of us.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get on you now.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what happened.
So y'all wasn't even getting along. And why was you not getting along?
Honestly, I can't even tell you. There was a lot going on between the lawyers. We're fighting each other.
And then the lawyers are trying to you could get the money. You his mama. You know how people do.
And there was a lot of that going on. But their family, they come from a Christian family. This. With me, it's just like if we could talk about it, let's talk about whatever the problem is. Don't go through the lawyer. Let's talk about it so I can figure out what's going on. At the end of the day, you're my children's brain.
So that's what I want to know. Now that Jade is 14 years old, how does she feel about the cops? That her father was murdered because she knows this. She can Google now.
She knows. And every time someone else is killed, we're watching. We're looking at the news.
And they always bring Sean Bell up also.
It's another
So how does she feel about the cops?
It's really sensitive for her, because she's 14, but we live in Queens.
Right.
I have to be honest with my daughter.
Right.
So at a certain point, I sat down with her and I said to her, okay, I know you probably, heard something or overheard, because you're a smart girl, but
very smart.
What happened to your father is not something that happens to everybody. So we're not saying that all police officers are bad, right? Because Daddy had a friend that was a police officer, right?
Wow.
So we know that not all police officers are bad. We know we need them. If you get in trouble, you gotta dial 911.
Right.
But when we have a system that doesn't punish people for or hold someone accountable when they commit a crime, we have a problem. So now those officers, we don't even consider them officers. Those are the people that we're standing up and we're fighting against.
So I want to talk a little bit about Black Lives Matter because a lot of people, they do not know what the heck Black Lives Matter means. So I love when you talk about Black Lives Matter. So let them know what's up. School the people. Because a lot of them ain't it. They don't know.
And the worst part about it is people believe that Black Lives Matter means we matter more. Black Lives matter more than whites, than Hispanics, or whomever, whomever the other is.
Right.
What Black Lives Matter does mean is that there are people out there who believe that our lives don't matter, that my husband's life, that your brother's life,
my nephews, I'm thinking about every day.
Lives don't matter, right? There are people out there who will shoot and then ask questions later. They will take that life. That black life, right?
You see time and time
after again, we see these black lives being slaughtered, and no one held accountable for it. So when we say Black Lives Matter, we are proclaiming that our lives matter because there are people out there who don't believe that. They don't feel that our lives matter. There are people in 2016.
I feel like we going back to the 60s lately.
It's scary.
It's getting very
we
scary.
live in the day and age of Eric Garner, of Sean Bell, of Trayvon Martin, of Ramarley Graham, Walter Scott. We can go on. Sandra
so many
Bland.
names. Oh, that's Sandra Bland. Oh God, that case is
This
just
is
horrible.
the day and age. We live in this era. This is something that we're going to tell our kids.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling my daughter now. My daughter knows more about civil rights than the average 13-year-old.
So this is what, it was a rumor back in the day that you was running for something, Congress, councilman, assemblywoman. Tell me, do you have any expectations of, do you have anything like you want to run for? Like, tell me, what you think?
In 2010, I did run for city council.
Okay.
It was a special election. The Councilman Thomas White had passed away. So they had a election to fulfill the remainder of his term.
Right.
So I ran for city council, and I ran against Councilman Ruben Wills, who's now currently the Southeast Queens council member. And you know, it was a great experience. It was a chance for me to really be able to attempt to serve, you know, the community, support the community that stood up for me, you know, that stood up for Sean.
And that's really from with Queens.
And that's
for
really
real.
where I was born and raised.
That's right. That's like me and East New York, born and raised, baby. You can't tell us about our hometown.
Hello.
So you didn't win that one.
I didn't win. It came really close. I mean, I gave him a good run for his money.
Right now,
as a woman.
Okay.
But you know, enough people didn't
what
come out
about now? It's 6 years later. What about now? What do you want to do?
I'm not running for anything.
Right.
You know, right now, I'm a mom. I'm a wife.
I know we're gonna get to that.
You know, I run my organization. I have a job. You know, and I'm.
So you have a job?
Oh yeah.
Like a real job?
I always have a job.
So how is that work? Like when you first started working, did people come up to you like, "Hey girl, you got that file, but let me ask you, what's going on with your case?" Like, how was that going back to work?
You know what? When Sean was killed, I was out of work. I had just had my daughter, so it was about 5 months. After maternity leave, I wasn't ready to go right back 6 weeks, so I stayed home. I was gonna go to school. My life got interrupted when Sean was killed. You know, my life was interrupted, and you know, we had a plan. I was going to school. He was going to work. We were gonna, you know, I do a little work here and there, but mainly my idea was to further my education. I had my daughter young. You know, I had my daughter young, and you know, I thought I was grown. I thought I had it all. I knew the plan. I knew what was gonna happen.
Right.
And then November 25th, 2006 happened. You know.
Oh, God.
So for me, it's right now. It's just, you know, living life, being happy. Don't take your happiness for granted.
Yes, you can't take that for granted. So one of the fans wanted me to ask you, like, are you going back to school to get like, because you were saying that a lot. They were saying, so you're going back to school.
Yeah.
I am too, girl.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I did a lot of years of college, and then I don't want to have like kids. They be like, "Mommy, I'm not going to college."
I mean, because it's important, right? We have to express to our kids, and we have to be able to show them.
I mean, look at the movie Selma. Like, you know what I mean? How people had to go through to go to school to vote. You know, and we take that for granted. A lot of us black people, y'all got to get y'all stuff together.
That's right.
So now I want to talk about some more juicy stuff, because we talked about the sad stuff. I want to talk about this Essence article, and in the Essence article. Okay, you revealed that you are now married, and I'm like, married to who? Then I see a picture of the man. I said, wait, this chick is married. First of all, I spoke to you about a year and a half ago, and I was like, girl,
you gonna check me now?
Yes, time to check now. Coach Cooch is here now. I said, girl, you know, life goes on. You know, you're a pretty girl. You got a nice body. You know you need to date. And you sat there and looked right in my eyes, all four of them, because I had my glasses on. And you was like, So you basically like son me, like, you know, like when you shoot my way, like, yeah, no. Next subject. So I'm looking at your mom with her little young boo, and I'm like, girl, you look cute. He ain't got a brother. And you know, and I mean, we're not besties, so it ain't like you had to tell me my business, but when I found out that you were married, and then not only married, you had a new kid.
Right.
I didn't want to be your friend anymore, honestly. I said, this is too scary for me. I'm like, I just spoke to you about this, and like, I've been around you, your family, your friends, and I'm like, I never seen a new baby, because your daughter is going to be in my movie that I produced, and so I couldn't believe that you didn't tell me this. Like, where did you meet this guy from? Who the hell is he, first of all? Where did you meet him? Because you got to tell me something that you didn't tell Ashley. Where did you meet this guy?
First, let me apologize.
Thank you. Because I was really like, let me tell you, Roy could be a witness to this, okay? My business partner looked at me, I'm like, yo, I gotta hook up Nicole Smalls. I was in the car driving home like, Nicole's so pretty. I hate that she don't got nobody. Cause like, you know, I do the love thing. So I'm like, nah, I gotta hook Nicole up with somebody. I can't see a beautiful woman just never date again. Like, you gotta be real sad, driving down the Bell Parkway sad and shit.
Oh, no, now I gotta take that. I'm gonna have to make that up.
Okay, you got to buy me some dinner.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do
I was
something.
hurt. Okay, so go ahead. Oh, okay, I'm not your friend. Okay, Nicole, my friend, y'all. Okay, so go ahead. Where did you know what this guy from?
I had to take years. You know, I was really afraid to really date again. And it's scary for a young
That's all I want to know. Like, when you first met him, I know you was like, nah, I can't.
Yeah, you know, just going back to school, being social again, because I was really depressed when Sean was killed.
Right.
You know, yeah, I was fighting and standing up and being strong, but at home I had to go home. The cameras were gone. You know, just being the babies there.
Yeah.
You know, my mom and my sister rotating, taking turns to come stay with me, making sure everybody was okay.
Right.
It was really scary thinking about. You know, I never thought I would want to.
Right. How long it took you to even be in your house by yourself?
Oh man, that took some time.
Right.
There were months that they were taking turns, and maybe about a year. I didn't even sleep in my bedroom. I slept on my couch for a year. I could not go into that room. You know, it's just too much. So fast forward, you know, getting out there, I met Jay when we were signed up. We were both signed up for school. And you know, I'm in class, and you know, he starts a conversation. We started out really because he's funny. You know, he's funny. We started out talking. It was nothing. I wasn't attracted to him right away. We were talking. We became friends. The whole time, you know, he had, you know, a thing for me.
Right.
You know, trying to.
I mean, look at you, girl. You're hot.
Yeah, but you know, for me, it was sensitive. You know, so if you coming on too strong, I'm probably gonna run the other way.
Okay.
Because I don't trust it.
Right.
I just don't trust it.
You might think I got some money. What's up? What you want?
Yeah, not only that, I just don't trust love anymore. Honestly, it's
you
too
didn't trust
unpredictable.
love at that time.
No.
Wow.
Just too unpredictable. You never know. You put so much into really loving someone, right? And then in an instant, he was ripped away from me, and I felt robbed, you know?
Right.
And I kind of still felt as if I belonged to Sean. I did, for a very long time.
So what year did you meet this new guy? Y'all in school, what year was this?
About 2000. When I met him, when I signed up at school, I signed up back in about 08, 09.
Right.
We met each other a few years later, but we didn't really start dating until about 2011.
So when you finally said, you know what, girl, 'cause we had these conversations with self.
Right.
I think Jay is kind of fine. I gotta get with you, because you know you start getting them womanly feelings again. So like, how was that? You didn't get the womanly feelings?
I did get the womanly feelings, but I said this can't be. I was
you
fighting.
just like shutting it down.
I was fighting it.
Holding on to the cooch. Just holding it on.
I did. I fought it.
Wow.
All my friends were like, girl, you gotta.
Yeah, especially this hot Virgo you be hanging out with. I heard.
That's my best friend. Yes,
yeah, she's the best.
But
so I know she's like, girl, you gotta, you know, Sean loves you. He don't want you to be by yourself.
Oh
girl.
yeah, you sound just like that too.
I know. I got voice. I'm a Virgo too. Yes. Okay.
That's why. So we started like to hang out more, like go out. And I would fight it, like literally, like he would reach for a hug, and I'd be like,
and then you worry about people in the public, right?
Yeah, hello.
Right?
I didn't know.
How hard was it to go out in public with him? Like, you know, people knew who you was.
People knew who I was, and because my life had been so public, everything I had to mourn publicly. Like,
that's
you know, that's usually when we cry and when we taking our personal, intimate moments. It's usually done, you know,
when I do
around
my
people you trust.
tears, I don't even do it around people I trust.
Hello, you go in the bathroom, you hide.
Yeah, I'm one of those secret criers. I was raised to believe you can't cry. My father played that crying stuff in our house. That's a whole nother Tionna.
I have best friends like that, so I understand. But so for me, I felt my life was just too public. I need private time.
Right.
I really do.
Right.
So as me and him began to get closer, it was just I really shut the world out, and I was like, let me give some time for this. Let me see if I like this. Let me figure
How
it out.
did you know it was something special? Because you know, as ladies and stuff, we'll meet a guy, he may like us, but is that one, or is the one you really want to date, you just feel something special, something magical? Did you feel that magical feeling that you was like, yo, I gotta shut it right there, I gotta see what's going on?
And you know what, for me, it was just being able to laugh again. I really was in a bad place. I was really in a bad place.
Was you ever suicidal? Did you ever feel like, I need to be with Sean, like...
And even that, you know, it's uncomfortable to talk about, but it needs to be said.
But we
there are people out there.
That's why we had this interview. That's why you're the first one I ever had a one-on-one with, because I want people to know there's people that their baby father just got killed. There's people that their moms is dying from cancer. There's people that's going through real struggles right now with loss.
Yeah.
Okay? And I think a lot of black people, we're not taught how to lose. We're not taught how to have mental issues and thoughts of depression and suicide.
Right.
People shut that down, and that's why a lot of people do that. And I'm sure you probably shared it with your mom or your sister, and they probably, and then you had kids. See, that's why your kids are a blessing, because you know, they probably kept you from doing things like that. Because you can't have not a mother and a father.
And as black women, you said it yourself, we hide behind our smiles.
Yeah.
You know, even you said it yourself. I don't even cry around people. I don't want them to see that side of me.
Yeah.
You know, so we are kind of taught to, smile, everything's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
and put the world on our shoulders.
Put the world on your shoulders.
That's what I want to talk about too. So if you and Jay was friends, I know y'all had that conversation. Like, listen, I'm a broken person, because sometimes you cannot be afraid to let a man know that you're a little broken. I'm a little broken. I'm not playing the games. I know you wasn't with the shits. I already had 2 kids with a man.
Yeah.
We was on our way to get married. Listen, I got 2 kids.
Yeah.
Everybody know me. What's your intentions? I'm not here for the shit. Did you have that conversation?
I had that conversation. That's a must.
I know you did, girl. Tell me about it.
It's just letting him know, listen, I'm not a regular girl.
Right.
I'm not an average girl. I'm not those girls that you can go around and play games with. I had to sit there and break it down with him. I've been through
Jesus
some stuff.
talk, right?
I've been through some stuff. Some stuff that you probably in your lifetime, your mama probably in her lifetime had never even experienced. So, we took it slow. And, as a guy, I felt in the beginning, it was a little shaky. There were even times when I didn't want to be with him. We broke up for like 8 months, and I had never done stuff like that.
Oh, my husband and I, when we was engaged, we broke up for 2 years, and we got back together. So,
but we did, and
you kept fighting it, and then all of a sudden it was like.
I did. After that, I was like, all right, I'm giving.
Knock you down.
Yeah.
So what made you finally be like, fuck it? I don't care what nobody think. I can always say, but what made you say this gonna be my man?
Well, I like what love did for me as a person.
Ooh. Wait a minute! You like what love did to you? What did love do to you?
I can't. Love, you know what it is though? It really makes you just feel fulfilled. Around my daughters, I don't want them to grow up seeing mommy being bitter. I'm that bitter old lady that just
I hate those old bitter.
Never moved on with their life.
Right.
They never wanted to find love again, or they thought that whatever the reason was, they chose to be by themselves.
I hate those type.
I didn't want to be that. I want my daughters to see that life, yes, things happen. Oh my God, things like this shouldn't have happened.
Right.
But you do the best you can. In my case, it was stand up. It was make noise about this, shine a light. Don't let people forget. Don't let them ruin someone's an innocent person's reputation.
Right.
And also, I want my daughters to see one day. Look at what my mother did.
Yeah, strong black woman right there.
Yeah. So I like what love did for me. It made me smile more. It made me more happy. It made me, want to wear little dresses.
Yes, you look. I'm seeing a whole new Nicole.
Yeah.
So what happened when you told Sean's mother, like, listen, I know you had to have that conversation.
I did.
How did that conversation go?
I was very nervous because
I've been nervous.
I feel like, for me, okay, yeah, I met someone else. No one else could replace Sean. No one else could, be my daughter's father, take his place. No one could ever take his place.
Right.
And for Miss Bell, she can't. She can't just put somebody else in her son's spot.
Right.
She can't do that.
Right, of course not.
And I, for her, I was just more, wondering how sensitive it would make her feel.
Right.
Concerned about her feelings.
Right.
And I let her know as more and more as we got closer, and he met my daughters one day I took my daughters to the playground, and he met us there. So slowly but surely, I kind of introduced him in. I didn't want to shock him and scare him.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You losing your father.
So Miss Bell was supportive.
Miss Bell was, and to this day, we.
Go, Miss Bell.
On Sean's birthday, everyone came to my house. I like to bring my daughters to the cemetery. We go put flowers down, things like that.
Yeah.
And remember him. So we had made a cake. Mr. and Mrs. Bell came over. It was all of us there.
Wow.
Myself, my husband, my daughters, our new daughter, Mr. and Mrs. Bell, my mother.
I can't believe you have a daughter. Like, I'm so sad. Like, what?
And she was just a little gift.
Wow.
A little gift. And really
And look just like the rest of your 2 daughters. It must be your genes that they all look alike.
It just fits right in.
Wow. So you like what love did to you.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to these young ladies that's suffering from loss right now? Because this is a part of the reason why I had the interview. I really want to know your opinion.
Yeah.
Let me tell my opinion first. My opinion is that I really want young ladies to first get the mental health they need, because losing somebody is very hard.
That's right.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? And secondly, I want them to know that it is another life, because you know, if a woman died before a man's gonna date again. Most 90% of the time, a man is gonna date again. Like, I have people in my family, especially women in their 50s and 60s, that's like, when my husband died, I never want another man again. And I just don't think that is good. But I don't think they should jump to every, you know, dude that they like either. But, so what is your process?
It's definitely a healing process that you have to go through. You know, you have to learn how to love yourself again first. You know, for me, when I lost Sean, it was everything. I lost parts of myself. I lost, you know, my family called me Coley. I lost parts of Coley that when Sean died, that I could never get back. You know, it really matured me. It made me into this, you know, another person, really. And slowly but surely, as time goes on, I realized, you know, it's like watching flowers bloom. You see things starting in a different light.
Description she be giving, right? What's your sign?
Leo.
Oh, you got game.
I got game now. I do.
She gaming me right now. Come on, the blooms and the flowers.
No, wait, serious. This is
real. This is. I could like start coming over.
But it really is. It's a healing process, and you got to learn how to love yourself. And for me, it was realizing that I wasn't alone, because I felt like I was on my own island. I was by myself. There was, you know, everybody.
Even though your moms and your sister stayed there,
because they didn't know how I felt.
Right,
you know, everybody lost Sean as a friend, or as a, you know, as a best friend, or as a, you know, whatever he was to you. That's how you lost Sean, but no one knew how it felt to go to sleep by yourself.
I give your husband a lot of credit though, because publicly you're still known as Nicole Bell. That's another man, no matter what, is a man, and he is accepting the fact that another man, you still have that name, you know, that you use publicly. You change it legally though, right?
Yeah, and you know what? And the way I put it is, it's also the name that my daughters will have for the rest of their life. Those are my daughters. You know, regardless of what, I share a name that my daughters had.
Right.
And also, I share his name. You know, that my new baby had, my 2-year-old has. So, you know, I am Nicole. That was my past. But we have to learn how to embrace our past, right? Because it made you who you are today.
Yes.
So for me, I had to embrace my past, because, you know, Jay had met me, you know, years ago. Maybe you wouldn't like the person you met. You like who you found. You know, and you found me at this moment.
So I know Jada would tell you if she didn't like Jay. So she likes Jay.
Oh, you know what? Jada is a tough cookie though.
Yeah.
It took Jada a long time. Okay.
Right.
You know, sometimes she giving the side eye, like, you know how little girls can be. You know, but my, you know, he's good at falling back and letting me handle when I need to handle, and you know, and just try to be that support base.
I love this. And what's his sign?
Aquarius.
Okay, they hard too to do.
You gotta watch
that's good.
You gotta watch them Aquarius.
The Aquarius, man, girl, we're gonna have another show on that. I mean, I believe in signs. Do you believe in signs?
I do.
Okay, good. I do believe in signs. So I just want to end this interview with, what is a Sunday for Nicole Bell? What is the Sunday for Nicole Bell?
Oh, a beautiful Sunday is opening up my blinds, letting the lights, the sunlight just shine in. You know, pull the drapes open. You know, maybe have some music playing, not too loud in the house.
What kind of music? Give me scenery.
90s R&B.
Oh yes, that's all I do.
90s R&B. Let's put some 90s R&B on. You know, maybe start cooking some food. Get the house cleaned up. The kids, you know, everyone's over. Maybe have my mom or somebody over for dinner.
Yes.
Laugh, have some wine.
This is beautiful. I'm loving it.
And enjoy life. You know, because so often we take it for granted.
So do you think that Sean would love the life you're living right now?
I think he would be happy. I think he would be happy.
Look at that. Ooh, I feel goosebumps. I feel it all in my face. So there you have it, girls. This is your girl, Tionna Smalls. I sit down with my girl, Nicole Bell. I forgive you now for not telling me you was mad.
You're gonna get that lobster.
I felt bad. But I am gonna get my lobster.
That's right.
And ladies at home, just remember that no matter what you go through in life, God will get you through. Nicole is a living testimony of getting through something. She shared so many intimate things today. And see, wasn't that the ratchet?
And you know what? And women need to know, tell your story.
Tell your story.
You're not alone.
Write that book. Stop saying you're gonna write that book for 10, 20 years and write that book. Don't you read a book too? Yeah, write your book too. Write that book, tell that story, and tell your children the truth. Okay? And most of all, be truthful and honest with yourself. We're gonna do more of these one-on-ones, especially with women that got stories like Nicole Bell. Nicole, tell everybody how they can reach you.
You can email us at community@wearif.org. Reach me on Facebook, Nicole Paultre on Facebook. On Instagram, Nicole P. Bell, and you know, send me a comment. I'll write back. Send us an email.
And check us out at Mouthful of Fur TV on Instagram, and let us know what you think about this interview. Did I ask all your questions right? Do you like Tionna, her sexy Oprah thing going on? Let me know what's going on, okay, guys? Once again, it's your girl, Tionna Smalls, aka Coach Cooch. I'm sitting down with my girl, Nicole Bell. We'll see you next week when we go back to our regular ratchet dance.